So it's fall 2024 and it is time for a Charlotte, North Carolina market update. I'm 𝗖𝘀 𝗨𝘀, your Charlotte real estate agent and South Carolina agent, and I'm here to give you everything that's going on in Charlotte, the market, the rates, what's going on with housing prices, and stick around to the very end of this video. It'll be a quickie because I'm going to share with you what this could mean for 2025 if you're looking to buy a home or sell a home in the Charlotte and surrounding markets. If you're looking for everything Charlotte, North Carolina, the ins, the outs, and everything in between, you have come to the right channel. Be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on everything Charlotte, including the market, things you need to know about the areas, and more. Now, you may or may not be surprised to know, but I do get calls, texts, Zoom invites, emails every single day from people just like you looking to make the move to the Charlotte area or sell their home in Charlotte. So if that's you, drop down into the comments below and into the description. All of my contact information is there. I really will answer the phone and help you make the move, whether it's 9 days or 90 days from now, whether you're moving from across the world, across the country, or just across town. I'm here to make your move exactly what you want it to be. So let's dive in and talk about this market. First off, holy cow, what the heck happened in 2024? Well, with a quick recap here of Charlotte, North Carolina, we have seen some pretty incredible things, and I'm gonna tell you it has been a good market for most. Now, as you've probably been watching, the interest rates have been all over the place, and we've seen higher days on market than we've seen in many, many years. I'm going to take you through and talk about all of these aspects and how it's going to affect you, especially going into 2025 if you're looking to sell your home and or relocate and buy in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. So let's dive in and talk a little bit about the market as a whole. Now, whether you know this or not, Charlotte is actually made up of not only Charlotte and Mecklenburg County, but also the surrounding towns around it. With all these towns included, the actual population is close to about 2 million people. Now, don't let that scare you. We're plenty spread out and we love it here. But let's talk about what's going on with the market, especially with the influx of people coming in. We're still getting on average about 150 people per day moving to Charlotte, North Carolina. Now we're getting 250 per day to North Carolina, but 150 of them are coming here. So where in the world are people coming from? Well, here are some of the top migration areas where people are coming from to move to the Charlotte area. New York, Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, Atlanta, Miami, Boston, San Francisco, Chicago, San Diego, and Philadelphia. Now, if you notice, most of that is going to be in New York, California, or should I say the New England area, California, Florida. These are areas that are being hit with higher and higher property taxes as well as insurance costs, but also those that are probably being hit by hurricanes. Floridians, I hear you and I feel you. Now, another interesting factor to consider are people leaving Charlotte. Yes, that does happen, I know. They're not leaving nearly at the pace of those that are coming in, but what I find interesting is we're not really leaving much farther out than Charlotte. So the top areas where people are going when they leave Charlotte are closer to home than you might think. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, Hickory, North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, Boone, North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina, and Wilmington, North Carolina. Did you notice it was only the Carolinas? That's because it's probably one of the best places I have ever lived. That was 10 top locations that people are moving to, and all of them are in the Carolinas. So what does this tell you? The market's great and people don't want to leave, but they might want something a little bit slower. All of the cities that I just mentioned are smaller than Charlotte and have different pricing as well as, well, completely different ambiance. In Asheville, you've got the mountains. In Wilmington, you've got the beach. So let's get back into the market. What's going on with this? Well, because we still have a heavy influx of people coming in, and we've still got houses that need to be built, yes, we still do have technically a deficit of houses. However, what we've seen over the last few months is that houses are sitting on the market longer. The average days on market in Charlotte is about 32 days. Now that's across the board for all price ranges and styles. Now, if we compare that with a couple of years ago where it was about 5 hours on market, I'm just kidding, the average is about 2 or 3 days. That is substantially different. Here's why I would say this is not something to fear. 30 days on market, 32, 35, anywhere in there we are still in a reasonable amount of time to be sitting on market. Now, here's one of the biggest reasons why I say not to worry, especially if you're looking to purchase a home here and build equity, or if you're looking at selling your home. Let's look at what happened over the year to year. So year over year from last year, we're actually up when it comes to sales prices. Yes, I know you're seeing homes sell for less than list and you're seeing homes reduce their prices. Just because someone lists it somewhere doesn't mean that's what it's going to sell for. That's something to keep in mind. And you may actually have an advantage if you're purchasing a home because homes may be overpriced and there might be wiggle room to bring it down or get some kind of concession in closing costs or rate buy downs, but we'll get that in a second. The median sales price in the Charlotte region is $574,000. Now, why is this important? Well, year to date, we're up by 8.6%. That is substantial, especially when we look back. 2020, it was 20%. 2021, it was 20%. 2022, we almost flatlined, but it regained this speed back in 2023 when we were looking at somewhere between 7 to 8%. Now we're at 8.6%. Solidly year over year. Now, while we can't control interest rates, we can at least shop when it makes the most sense. Well, when does it make the most sense? When there is less demand for homes and we can negotiate a better price. So for those of you looking to relocate or purchase, this may be an ideal time even if rates are high. Now you might be thinking, yes, Kayla, but if rates are high, how am I going to get approved for what I want? / how am I going to get the payment where I really want it? And I think that's what's most important for most people. Well, there are a few options that are out there, and yes, these options are still happening, which are short-term rate buy downs, such as 1 year and 2 year rate buy downs. So you definitely know what rate it'll end up at if you don't refinance before that rate drop comes back up. But you're also going to have the opportunity to get the home for the first year or 2 years at a far lower rate. Now, we do expect rates to change. They're always going to change. But we do also expect, if we look at all the statistics, that the prices are going to keep going up. So the question is, do you buy your house now while the price is a little bit lower, knowing you're going to have that equity of potentially 6 to 8% coming in the next year, and then you go ahead and refi when it actually drops? Or do you wait until the rates drop, go ahead and get your pre-approval then, and then you may have some competition in the market where you could be paying a little bit more for the home? Either way works, and that's what I'm going to tell you. Everyone has their own comfort level, but I will tell you that there are options. Now, why could this be an advantage if you're looking to sell a home right now? Well, if you understand how to work the market and you're pricing it appropriately, you can actually still get multiple offer situations and push your value higher than the list price, and that is going to be key. Pricing it correctly, right? In addition to that, you can, as a seller, also offer these rate reductions, these rate buy downs. So all of these are certainly possible. Now, some of the most popular areas we're still seeing purchases are going to be, in many cases, in areas where the school system is higher rated. So we're seeing Fort Mill, which is still the #1 school district in South Carolina. We're seeing pretty much every area in that South Charlotte area. We're talking Ballantyne all the way up into Providence and Sharon Woods, all the way down into Weddington, Waxhaw, and even parts of Matthews. Matthews has become a really popular spot. A lot of this having to do with the pricing on homes, as well as, of course, the closeness to areas like South Charlotte and Charlotte Uptown. And in addition to that, we've seen a bit of a migration to the northern side of Charlotte. Huntersville has become far more popular than it once was. Part of this is because of the pricing of homes, but people are starting to migrate even further into the northeastern section towards, of course, Cornelius and Davidson. While going up into those areas, there's also some opportunities for some phenomenal schools, but the prices are far lower than what you're going to find on the south side of Charlotte. There's so much opportunity, and I could go on about it for hours. Don't worry, I won't stay here for hours, promise you. There's other videos you can go watch and you can get into the nitty-gritty. But one of the last things I would leave you with has to do with what in the world is going to go on in 2025. Well, my crystal ball is on back order from Amazon, but when it does get here, I'll have a little bit of a clearer picture, and it'll probably come at the end of 2025. Here's what I will tell you. Based upon what we're seeing with influx of people, as well as some changes that are being made each year that are going to actually top out in 2025, which is lower income taxes, and probably still keeping the same with property taxes, of course, but we are going to see an influx of individuals coming in, and we're also going to see interest rates drop. So that is going to have a push. If we have interest rates coming from where they are now to the mid 6s to mid 7s, coming down into the mid 5s to mid 6s, there is a very large population of buyers that are going to flood the market at that time. So we're going to see slightly higher prices, slightly lower days on market, but this is not going to be something that's going to happen overnight. So you're not going to wake up one day and people are banging down your door to go ahead and get your house sold. What you are going to see is a slow increase with regards to buyers that are entering the market and homes that are going under contract quicker. Now, we're also probably going to see list prices remaining about the same as where they are, because many of these homes right now are a little overpriced, but we're going to see those sales prices, again, consistently increasing as they have over the last 3 years. Now, I'll give you a little bit of insider information. I've spoken to many of my lenders, and they've expressed massive increases in buyers going ahead and putting in applications for pre-approvals. In fact, within 48 hours of the election results for the presidential election, we actually saw a 14% increase in pre-approvals being submitted, or applications being submitted for pre-approvals. So what this tells us is that there is pent-up demand, and we're going to see that demand come to fruition in 2025. Now, my last piece that I will leave you with, there are plenty of people looking to sell their homes that want to wait until spring. Here is my bit of information. With the amount of buyers that are going to hit the market come the first week in January, I kid you not, every January I get people reaching out. And by the way, if you're looking to reach out, don't hesitate. But that is when we see a lot of people reaching out. They've gotten past the holidays, they're ready to go, they're ready to make that home purchase. Do not hesitate in putting your house on the market in early to mid-January, because you will be one of the few, and you'll actually be able to get your home not only sold faster, but for far more than you ever expected. So I hope this video brought you a ton of clarity as to what's going on in the Charlotte market. Whether you're buying a home or selling a home, truly the market is very even-keeled right now, and there's a lot of opportunity for all. Now, if you have questions, maybe that I didn't answer here, drop them in the comments below. I actually do go through and answer all of my comments, so if you do have questions, feel free to reach out to me. And of course, if you want to stay on top of everything Charlotte, North Carolina, the ins, the outs, neighborhoods, home tours, and everything in between, go ahead and like and subscribe. And as I mentioned, I really do get calls, texts, emails, Zoom invites from people just like you, looking to move to the Charlotte, North Carolina area or sell a home here. If that's you, go ahead and drop into the description below. All my contact information is there, whether it's 9 days or 90 days if you're moving across the world, across the country, or you're looking to move just across town. I'm here to make your move everything you want it to be. So until next time, I look forward to showing you around town.